with you, and you guys can all
Come
be
on,
more
Joe.
even-tempered.
Come on, Joy.
All right,
All right,
Tommy.
Joe and Joy, come on over. Let's have yoga. Next
Tommy and
Thursday.
Leo, my favorite segment always. Thanks so much. And up next, the most shocking story of the night. We reveal that millions of Americans are quitting their jobs at record levels, and we expose the reason why.
I've never seen anything like this. I've heard from the energy industry, the flooring industry. I mean, you just go down the list one after the next. The restaurant industry, the cable and broadband industry, they are all struggling with the same basic problem.
That's Mike Rowe sounding the alarm on what many are calling the Great Resignation. Shocking numbers from the Labor Department show that millions of Americans are quitting their jobs. That's right, quitting. This one leaves us with a lot of questions. Here to react, Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. All right, Charlie, the statistics are really shocking. 4.9 million Americans quit their jobs in November, and we now have 12 million jobs that are open and available. My question to you, and nobody has an answer to why, but why do you think this is happening?
Yeah, I think there's many variables here. I think first and foremost there's a mismatch of expectations for the workers themselves. The jobs that have the biggest openings, where we need the most workers, are in the muscular class of our economy. It's the plumbers, it's the electricians, it's the people that work with their hands. We've decided to tell a generation to go borrow money they don't have, to study things that don't matter, to find jobs that don't exist when they go to college, and when in reality they very well could have had a really good career in a more blue-collar construction, kind of working with their hands type industry. That's one of the reasons. The other reason, Judge, is very obvious. We paid people not to work over the last year and a half, and I think a lot of these state-based welfare programs have been expanded, unemployment in particular. And also, finally, I think that the quality of work has changed dramatically. Whether you work at a coffee shop or you work in a fulfillment industry, wearing a mask all day long, vaccine mandates, being bossed around by people behind a Zoom or Skype screen on just a kind of a tablet, it's getting really old, and people are seeing that things are getting more expensive. Their wages might not be correlating alongside of it. But Judge, I'm so glad that we're doing a story on this and we're chatting about it, because this is legitimately one of the most important economic stories of a generation that the media seems to be ignoring.
Well, you know, they say that the split is between those under the age of 30 and those over the age of 55, that those two segments are the segments that are not working. Either, you know, the younger ones, either because they're getting money or they don't want to work, and the older people, maybe they saved money, you know, maybe the money they got from the pandemic, they think that they can retire. But doesn't it reflect a cultural shift? You know, this is America. This is where you work, you compete with. This is a capitalist society. We get out there and we fight to do the best we can and to win. There's a whole spiritual, moral, cultural component to all this.
I totally agree. And I mean, just 10 years ago, it would have been unthinkable that people would just walk away from a job after a couple of months because they don't feel as if they can move up as quickly as they would want to. It's almost as if we are becoming more accepting of people not working. And we've always kind of been on that fragile balance of the amount of people on the dole of government, the people paying of taxes. And I'm afraid, Judge, because of the hyper-technologicalization of our economy, all of a sudden we're starting to see massive profits of just a small amount of companies, and people say, wait a second, why don't I just sit at home and you pay me $4,000 a month to do nothing? And the problem is now it's more expensive than ever to buy a home, to build a home. Good luck trying to find anyone to actually go fix anything in your home, because the people that have those skills, people that have those skills have been demonized, they've been attacked, and on the other side you have a bunch of people that know a lot about kind of completely irrelevant 13th century poetry in Europe, you know, and they went to some school to go into debt to study that, when the stuff that actually makes the economy run, we don't have enough workers for that.
Well, you know, it seems that we are getting away from being a work-based society.
Yes.
And that's a sad commentary. Anyway, Charlie Kirk, I want to thank you so much for joining us. And Justice returns next.